Imagine walking into the bedroom of one of the most powerful men on earth. The walls shimmer with gold, perfumed oils fill the air, fine linen hangs from carved wooden frames. Servants quietly prepare the room as the sun disappears beyond the Nile. Everything speaks of unimaginable luxury. Everything. Except the pillow. Instead of feathers or cotton, resting at the head of the bed is a smooth block of polished stone. Hard, cold, unforgiving. It looks less like something meant for sleep and more like something from a museum. Yet this was no mistake. More than 3,000 years ago, many wealthy Egyptians, including pharaohs themselves, rested their heads on these stone supports night after night. To us, it seems impossible. Who would choose to sleep on rock? Were ancient people simply tougher than we are? Or did they know something we've forgotten? The answer reveals that the history of the pillow has almost nothing to do with comfort. Long before memory foam, goose down, or luxury bedding, a pillow served an entirely different purpose. It protected the head, the most sacred part of the body. It preserved elaborate hairstyles that could take hours to create. It kept insects, snakes, and desert creatures away from a sleeper's face. And for the Egyptians, it carried an even deeper meaning. Sleep was believed to be a dangerous journey between the world of the living and the realm of the gods. During those vulnerable hours, the head required both physical support and spiritual protection. That simple block of stone was more than furniture. It was a guardian. For thousands of years, civilizations around the world would reinvent the pillow again and again. Some made them from wood, others from porcelain, others from straw, feathers, or silk. Each version reflected not only advances in technology, but changing ideas about health, wealth, religion, and what it truly meant to rest. Because the story of the pillow is not the story of softness. It is the story of how humans slowly learned what it means to sleep in comfort. If you could travel back in time and ask an ancient Egyptian whether his stone pillow was comfortable, he might not understand the question. Comfort was never the point. In fact, for most of human history, people did not expect sleep to feel comfortable at all. Sleep was necessary. Comfort was optional. That distinction shaped the first pillows ever created. To modernize, a pillow exists for one reason: to make sleeping pleasant. It cushions the head, relieves pressure on the neck, helps us wake up refreshed. But these expectations are surprisingly new. For thousands of years, pillows served as tools, not luxuries. They protected, supported, separated, preserved. In hot climates like Egypt and Mesopotamia, raising the head several inches above the ground helped keep crawling insects, scorpions, and other unwelcome creatures away from a sleeper's face. That elevation also improved airflow during sweltering nights, making sleep slightly more bearable without changing the temperature itself. For the wealthy, another concern mattered just as much: appearance. The elaborate wigs and carefully arranged hairstyles that symbolized status could take hours to prepare. A soft cushion would flatten them in a single night. A carved headrest supported only the neck, allowing the hair to remain untouched until morning. Even religion influenced the design. The head was considered the seat of life, identity, and divine power. Supporting it properly during sleep and even after death was believed to offer protection during the soul's journey into the next world. This is why stone headrests have been discovered not only in ancient homes, but inside tombs. The pillow was expected to serve its owner for eternity. That idea may sound strange today, yet it reveals something remarkable. The first pillows were never designed around the question, how can people sleep better? Instead, they answered a very different question. How can people survive the night? Only much later, as homes became safer, insects became less threatening, and societies grew wealthier, did humans begin asking something entirely new. What if a pillow could do more than protect? What if it could also be soft? That simple question would transform one of humanity's oldest sleeping tools into an object that billions of people now refuse to sleep without. Long before stone pillows, long before feathers, long before cotton, silk, or memory foam, there was nothing. For most of human history, humans simply slept without a pillow. Our earliest ancestors lay directly on the ground, on layers of grass, animal hides, leaves, or packed earth. Their greatest concern wasn't neck pain, it was surviving until sunrise. A pillow offered little value when rain could soak your bed, predators could enter your camp, or freezing temperatures threatened your life before dawn. The body adapted. A rolled-up animal skin became a headrest. An arm tucked beneath the head served as support. Sometimes a folded bundle of clothing was enough. These weren't pillows in the modern sense. They were temporary solutions to temporary problems. Archaeologists believe the earliest humans spent hundreds of thousands of years sleeping this way. Comfort was dictated by the landscape itself. Every campsite was different, and every night demanded improvisation. The invention of permanent homes slowly changed that. As people settled into villages after the agricultural revolution around 10,000 years ago, sleeping spaces became more predictable. Floors remained in the same place. Families returned to the same bed each night. For the first time, it made sense to improve the sleeping environment. Mats became thicker. Animal furs became softer. Raised sleeping platforms appeared in many early civilizations. And eventually, someone asked a question no wandering hunter would have considered. What should support the head? The answer varied across cultures. In Egypt, it became carved stone. In Mesopotamia, wood. In parts of Asia, bamboo or ceramic. Elsewhere, bundles of straw wrapped in cloth. Different materials, the same purpose. What makes this remarkable is that the pillow was never invented all at once. There was no single inventor, no revolutionary breakthrough. Instead, countless generations experimented with whatever materials surrounded them, solving the same problem in different ways. That is often how history works. The objects we think of as ordinary are rarely born from one brilliant idea. They evolve slowly, shaped by climate, available resources, religion, technology, and the daily lives of ordinary people. The pillow is one of humanity's quietest inventions. It did not change the course of wars. It did not build empires. It did not revolutionize transportation. Yet every night, it changed something smaller but deeply personal: the quality of sleep. And as civilizations grew richer and more sophisticated, the question was no longer whether people needed something beneath their heads. The question became, what should that something be made of? If an Egyptian pharaoh preferred stone. Ancient China took the idea even further. For nearly 2,000 years, millions of people deliberately rested their heads on pillows made from fired clay, porcelain, jade, bamboo, wood, or carved stone. Not because they couldn't make soft pillows, because many believed soft pillows were the wrong choice. To modern minds, this sounds almost unbelievable. After all, who would willingly sleep on a block of ceramic? Yet, during the Tang and Song dynasties, ceramic pillows became some of the most prized household objects in China. Wealthy families commissioned beautifully glazed pillows decorated with dragons, phoenixes, lotus flowers, mountains, and scenes from everyday life. Some were masterpieces worthy of an art museum. But they were never intended to sit on a shelf. They were meant to be slept on. Why? The answer lies in the ancient Chinese understanding of the human body. Traditional Chinese medicine viewed health as a delicate balance of energy flowing throughout the body. Excess heat trapped around the head was thought to disturb this balance, leading to headaches, poor sleep, or illness. A cool ceramic pillow remained pleasantly cold throughout much of the night. Rather than trapping warmth like feathers or wool, it drew heat away from the head. To many physicians of the time, that was a health benefit, not an inconvenience. There was another practical advantage. China's humid summers could be brutally hot. A pillow stuffed with feathers or cotton absorbed sweat, retained moisture, and attracted insects. Glazed ceramic did none of those things. It stayed clean. It resisted pests. It was easy to wash. Long before modern hygiene, that mattered. But perhaps the most fascinating feature was hidden in plain sight: the decorations. Many ceramic pillows carried images believed to influence the sleeper's dreams or fortune. Children's pillows often displayed tigers, lions, or mythical creatures meant to protect them from evil spirits. Others showed blooming flowers, symbolizing long life, or fish representing prosperity. Some even included poems reminding the sleeper to live a virtuous life. The pillow was no longer just supporting the head. It was shaping the mind, protecting the soul, bringing good fortune while the owner slept. This tells us something profound about ancient societies. Today we choose pillows based on softness ratings, memory foam technology, or customer reviews. People in medieval China judged them by entirely different standards. Would it keep the body healthy? Would it remain cool? Would it attract good luck? Would it protect the family? Comfort ranked surprisingly low on the list. Ironically, soft pillows did exist. Silk, cotton, and feather-filled cushions were available, especially among the wealthy. Yet many scholars and physicians warned against using them too often. Some believed excessively soft pillows weakened the body by allowing poor posture. Others argued that luxury encouraged laziness and weakened moral discipline. Even sleep reflected personal character. A firm pillow symbolized moderation and self-control. A luxurious one could symbolize indulgence. The object beneath your head quietly announced something about the person you wished to become. Eventually, however, these beliefs began to change. Trade expanded. Textile production improved. Cotton became more affordable. New ideas about comfort spread across Asia and later the rest of the world. Gradually, the pillow underwent one of the most remarkable transformations in household history. For thousands of years, civilizations had asked, "How can a pillow protect us?" Now they began asking something entirely different. How can a pillow make us feel better? That subtle change marked the beginning of the modern pillow. Not a symbol of survival, not a tool of medicine, not an object of spiritual protection, but something designed simply to help humans rest more comfortably than ever before. For thousands of years, a soft pillow was something very few people could afford. Today, pillows are so inexpensive that we rarely think about what they're made of: foam, cotton, down, synthetic fibers. Walk into almost any store and you'll find dozens of choices. But for most of history, those materials were incredibly valuable. The softness beneath your head announced your place in society. Imagine entering two bedrooms in medieval Europe. In the first, a noble family sleeps beneath heavy wool blankets. Their pillows are stuffed with goose down, soft feathers carefully collected over many seasons. The linen covering them has been woven by skilled hands, washed repeatedly, and embroidered with fine thread. In the second room, only a few steps away, A farming family lies on a simple straw mattress. Their pillow, if they have one at all, is a cloth sack stuffed with hay, dried grass, or scraps of wool. By morning, the filling has shifted into uncomfortable lumps. The difference is not simply comfort, it is wealth. Goose feathers were expensive because they could not be produced quickly. Every bird yielded only a small amount of usable down, and gathering enough to fill a single pillow required time, labor, and large flocks of geese. Fine linen was equally costly. Before machines, every thread was spun by hand, every piece of fabric woven on a loom, and every pillow stitched individually. A luxurious pillow represented hundreds of hours of human work. That made it a status symbol. In aristocratic households, bedrooms gradually became places where wealth was displayed as openly as dining halls or reception rooms. Visitors might admire carved bed frames, embroidered curtains, silk blankets, and beautifully crafted pillows stacked high against the headboard. Some beds held far more pillows than anyone actually needed. Their purpose was visual. The message was unmistakable. We can afford comfort. Meanwhile, ordinary people continued sleeping on far simpler bedding. Many households reused the same pillow stuffing for years, replacing worn fabric while preserving every feather or handful of wool inside. Nothing was wasted. Children inherited bedding from their parents. Pillows were repaired rather than replaced. In many homes, they became family possessions, passed down through generations. Then something extraordinary happened. The Industrial Revolution transformed nearly every object inside the home. Mechanized textile mills spun fabric faster than ever before. Large-scale farming increased the supply of feathers, cotton, and other natural fillings. Factories standardized production. Prices gradually fell. For the first time in history, comfortable pillows were no longer reserved for kings, nobles, or wealthy merchants. The middle class could own them too. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, comfort itself was becoming democratized. What had once been a luxury slowly became an expectation. The pillow changed from a symbol of privilege into an ordinary household necessity. Yet one question still remained unanswered. Humans had experimented with stone, wood, porcelain, straw, feathers, wool, cotton. But which material was actually best? That search would continue into the 20th century, when science, not tradition, began reshaping the object beneath our heads. And for the first time, the perfect pillow became something engineers believed they could design. If you brought a modern memory foam pillow back to the Middle Ages, most people would probably think it was strange. Too soft, too thick, perhaps even unhealthy. For thousands of years, firmness had been associated with discipline, protection, and good health. Softness was the exception, not the rule. That only began to change during the 19th and 20th centuries. Industrial manufacturing made cotton cheaper than ever before. Machines could spin fabric, weave cloth, and produce bedding on a scale no civilization had ever imagined. Suddenly, pillows no longer belonged only to the wealthy. Millions of ordinary families could finally afford soft bedding. But the biggest revolution was still to come. For the first time in history, pillows were no longer shaped by religion, tradition, or social status. They were shaped by science. Doctors began studying how the neck supports the head during sleep. An adult human head weighs roughly 10 to 12 pounds, about the weight of a bowling ball. Every night, the muscles of the neck work to support that weight for hours at a time. A well-designed pillow could reduce that strain. A poorly designed one could increase it. Instead of asking whether a pillow looked luxurious, manufacturers began asking whether it kept the spine aligned. During the 20th century, entirely new materials entered the bedroom. Latex, developed from natural rubber, created pillows that were resilient and long-lasting. Then came polyurethane foam, and eventually, one of the most recognizable sleep technologies in the world, memory foam. Originally developed by NASA engineers in the 1960s to improve cushioning and pressure distribution for aircraft seating, the material later found its way into hospitals and eventually into millions of homes. For the first time, a pillow could slowly mold itself to the unique shape of each person's head and neck. No ancient civilization could have imagined such an idea. Today's pillows are engineered with remarkable precision. Some are designed for people who sleep on their backs, others for side sleepers. Others help reduce snoring or relieve neck pain. Some regulate temperature with cooling gels. Others use shredded foam, adjustable filling, or ergonomic contours based on sleep research. The modern pillow has become a product of biomechanics as much as craftsmanship. And yet, the perfect pillow still does not exist. Sleep scientists continue to debate which materials, heights, and firmness levels work best because every human body is different. The object beneath your head remains deeply personal. Perhaps that is the greatest surprise in the history of the pillow. After thousands of years of innovation, we are still searching. From a carved stone beneath a pharaoh's head, to a ceramic pillow in ancient China, to a bag of goose feathers in medieval Europe, to memory foam engineered with modern technology, the pillow has never stopped evolving. Because while civilization transformed almost beyond recognition, the human desire behind it has always remained exactly the same: to wake up tomorrow feeling just a little better than we did today. For thousands of years, civilizations argued over what a pillow should be: stone or wood, ceramic or feathers, firm or soft. Today, science offers a different perspective. The most important question isn't whether a pillow feels luxurious, it's whether it keeps your body properly supported while you sleep. Every night, your neck must hold up a head that weighs around 10 to 12 pounds. If the pillow is too high, the neck bends upward for hours. Too low, and it tilts in the opposite direction. Either position can place unnecessary strain on muscles, joints, and ligaments that are supposed to relax during sleep. The goal is surprisingly simple: keep the spine in a neutral position. When the head, neck, and back remain naturally aligned, the muscles can rest instead of working throughout the night. Researchers have found that the best pillow is not the same for everyone. Side sleepers usually need a thicker pillow to fill the space between the shoulder and the head. Back sleepers often benefit from a medium-height pillow that supports the natural curve of the neck. Stomach sleepers, if they use a pillow at all, generally need a much thinner one to reduce strain on the cervical spine. In other words, there is no perfect pillow, only the right pillow for the way you sleep. That realization brings the history of the pillow full circle. Ancient Egyptians believed the pillow protected the head. The Chinese believed it protected health. Medieval nobles saw it as a symbol of wealth. Modern science suggests each of them understood part of the truth. The pillow has always mattered. Not because it is soft, not because it is expensive, but because for nearly 1/3 of your life, it quietly supports one of the most complex structures in the human body. Every night, while you are completely unaware, the simplest object in your bedroom is helping determine how you feel when you wake up the next morning.